Hi, I hope you are having a good time. Why was the body of a black woman part of the erotic fantasies of some white men? We'll talk a little about a kind of sexual fantasy that exists in the minds of many men in a society where people are racially different. If you are a person of black race, white race, biracial, multiracial, or other racial group, this type of topic may interest you. Any similarity with repressed ideas, biological needs, and unconscious desires of erotic thinking that exist in your mind, or experience that you have, or would like to have, is just a coincidence. If this type of topic catches your attention, let me know, which would motivate me to continue doing this kind of work for you, who follow this channel. I would recommend you visit my blog for more information on this type of topic. Please do not take it personally. When I talk about sexual fantasies, I'm not looking at it from a point of view in which I only take the sexual act itself to call your attention as a man who likes erotic themes, but in the way historically this type of sexual fantasy affects the psyche of some people in a post-slavery society like Latin America. Type of sexual fantasy in the mentality of Western men, which is behind some negative stereotypes that affect the image of the dark-skinned black woman. But this is another issue, which we will deal with in another work. How physically attractive is a dark-skinned woman when compared to a white woman? What kind of woman is best at the moment of making love when taking her to bed? Racially speaking, what type of woman is most preferred by most people right now? When we talk about sexuality of the dark woman, which is true, and which is part of the mythical imagination of men? And finally, which is more beautiful, the dark-skinned woman or the white-skinned blonde woman? The answer to all those questions I will give in the course of this conversation. At the beginning, I will concentrate mainly on the reasons and origins of the erotic fantasies associated with the dark-skinned black woman in a multiracial society as a way of understanding this type of topic within a historical context. You must take into account that this type of work is not to satisfy the morbid feelings of erotic thoughts of the people. It is only a way to offer my personal point of view on this particular subject as a way of giving a little understanding of the historical reasons and social context that are behind this behavior of men in relation to sexual behavior of dark-skinned black women in a society in which still the post-slavery macho ideas is part of the way of thinking. For some reason in many societies, there are erotic fantasies that are part of the collective imagination of many individuals. In this particular case, we must accept skin-colored woman in many Western nations is the central figure in the minds of many men fascinated by the sexual fantasy that the black woman produces by the shape of her body, the size of her buttocks, and the shape of her breasts. But also in the sensual movements when she dances in front of the man she likes or is simply trying to have fun under the rhythm of the music. Whether it is the product of social morbidities, street rumors, or the excitement that it produces, having sexual relations with people from racial groups different from yours is a desire that persists in you, the possession of a dark woman, even once in your life. It's a feeling that many white men want to experience. It is a type of sexual experience that is a part of your macho imagination that many of us possess when we value our ability to produce pleasure for a woman. There is something you cannot deny: your need for experimental erotic experiences with people racially different from you. A libidinous sensation that women with black skin produce every time their image comes to your mind. Traditionally, we have been taught to see white women as the model of female beauty. But really, the physical beauty and sensuality of the black woman with black skin is the woman who draws attention when a man sees it for the first time, no matter what kind of race. The white woman moves your ego as a social individual. The dark-skinned woman moves your spirit as something that you must possess. Many detractors of the black woman say, the white woman is good to take her for a walk. The black is good to take her to bed. The white woman is good to be a wife. The dark woman is good to be a concubine. The white woman excites your soul. On the contrary, the dark-skinned woman only excites your body. The white woman is always beautiful when she dresses. The black woman is only beautiful when she takes her clothes off. The white woman brings pride. A dark woman brings shame. The white woman was born to be the lady. The dark-skinned woman to be the servant. Finally, The white woman is like a trophy that you want to show. The dark-skinned woman is like a pearl that is hidden. Some historians consider the exotic nature of black women as the reason behind their popularity, although we should all recognize that in the first years of colonization, the little availability of white women, compared to the large number of young single men of marriageable age, was the real reason behind this popularity of the black woman. In many regions in the American continent, with the arrival of the first slaves, black women went on to supply this increase in the demand for sexual relations of many colonizers, in which the slave owners were in the front row. In some cases of the annihilation of the indigenous population, the black woman displaced the indigenous woman as an instrument of work, but also as a sexual object of the colonizers. Many social myths surrounding the figure of black women have their origins in the slave period, which still persist in many modern societies at this time. When talking about a dark-skinned woman, it is usually talked about her capacity to elevate the libido of men by just walking in front of them, but also in her ability to be always sexually available as a fiery woman willing to fill the sexual fantasies of her owner whenever he wants. On the other hand, some historians consider that another of the reason behind the sexual fantasies of white men in relation to the woman of brown skin has its origin in the prohibition that existed in having this type of sexual relationship, which was prohibited by the church between the white colonizers and the black slave population. There is not something that increases the imagination of people, especially men, that desire to be part of something forbidden. The black woman with black skin created a sensation of adventure and sexual excitement that every man wanted to experience. Thanks for listening to What I Think.